Hello. Welcome back to the Holistic Ritual. I'm your host, Kamela Celeste, and I hope that you enjoyed the time to catch up on some episodes last week as we had an off week.
You're listening to The Holistic Ritual, a podcast for holistic health-minded humans seeking mind, body, spirit well-being. Hosted by Kamela Celeste, IIN holistic health coach, former personal trainer, and meditation guide. With over a decade of experience guiding transformation and whole person healing, you're invited into the practice of guided meditations, affirmation readings, and spiritual insights through a holistic wellness lens. Blending ancient wisdom with modern science, this space supports you in releasing, renewing, and reconnecting with your inner wisdom. Cultivating a sanctuary you can return to each week as your own holistic ritual. Without further ado, let's get into the episode.
I was traveling. I went to New York. I had an amazing time with so many good friends and my sister. And it was just much needed to ground, but also re-energize me. I feel like the energy here in Denver is almost like too grounding. It's like too chill. And I needed the vigor and the excitement, the liveliness of New York to re-energize me. This week's ritual is all about slowing down. Cosmically, we have so much going on with the planets, with the energy that is going around, and we will get into all of the things. It might be a little bit longer episode, so hopefully you are okay with that. To make up for last week that we had an off week, I wanted to do something that was very complete in a ritualistic way today. So before we do our spiritual guidance, I just want to walk you through today what to expect. We'll talk about the astrology that's going on, and then we will get into a magical messages affirmation reading. I will do a little cleanse for us, and then we will, of course, get into our guided meditation. The energy right now is probably a lot, and it's either a lot in a really good way or it's a lot in a very discombobulating kind of way. And depending where all of these things are happening, what areas of your charts are being activated and highlighted and brought up, I just wanted to review what has been unfolding in the cosmos and just create a bit of warmth as we begin to transition into the colder months ahead of us. And with those months that come, they are colder, the days are shorter, the nights are longer. It's a very introspective time for us. This past week, we had a full super moon, the beaver moon in Taurus. It was a very beautiful type of energy. Taurus is very sensual. It's very romantic and can slow things down a little bit, especially with the moon here. Venus also slipped into Scorpio, and that I know Venus doesn't like to be in Scorpio, and I totally get that. However, Venus, the planet of beauty and romance and all of these really benefic things, the energy is still very positive around this. I don't know, I just have a good feeling about this. And then we also have to talk about the Mercury and Jupiter retrogrades that are going to happen this week, which will come into play with all of the other things that are happening. So yes, Venus is in Scorpio, but then we have these other two players that are coming to the front as well. So if things have felt slower, maybe a little heavier, or they're beginning to, or you've just been a lot more reflective lately, everything is right on time. And hopefully for the Taurus full moon that was last week on the 5th, that you really got to let go of some things, whatever house Taurus ruled. and we're just gonna roll with that in the background. Whatever house Taurus rules is the area in your life. Very beneficial for you to review it. What do you need to let go of? The themes surrounding that house. And the energy from a full moon can linger for a few days before, a few days after. So we're kind of out of that little maybe period of where it's like the peak energy is being felt, which is totally okay. Taurus energy is very much about what needs to be stabilized and grounded in our lives. Where can we find, or where do we need more grounding and stability in our lives in the area of our chart where Taurus is highlighted? And then, of course, what do we need to release surrounding those themes? And overall, themes are about grounding, self-worth, sensuality, comfort, and also just embodiment. Still a beautiful time to journal, to slow down, do a lot of self-care. Maybe this week, take it easy, and also a nice bubble bath, or especially cleansing your space is going to be super important too. Then we also need to talk about Venus and Scorpio. So I kind of touched on it a little bit already, but Venus will be in Scorpio from the 6th through December 7th. So quite a while, couple weeks. So the planet of love, pleasure, and beauty moves into the more passionate and private sign of Scorpio. So when we kind of think about meshing those two energies together, this transit is asking us, what does intimacy mean to you with yourself and with others? So during this time, you may notice a desire for deeper connection. Truth could be a really big theme too. Either you're wanting the truth or the truth is just coming up. And then also intensity. So Scorpio is also a very intense sign, but with it kind of being in Venus, I think everything is just a lot more highlighted right now, especially if you have your natal Venus in Scorpio. This could be a very, very big time that is activated for you right now. Also, financially and emotionally, transformation is available during these few weeks, and anything that is superficial is going to fall away, because that is the opposite of what Scorpio is. Venus, we also think about like relationships, and then Scorpio is this intense, deep soul knowledge. It wants to know people at a soul level. So when we combine those two together, there isn't really room for surface level things or interactions. And that may be present, especially if you are dating, especially if you are meeting people out, just like new friends and things. That could be a really big topic. And you might just recognize that people who are very surface level in general, it might just be a turnoff for you right now, and you might not want to gravitate towards those kinds of people or interactions if you can help it. And at the end of this, we have to think about what is left remaining will be the most authentic, the most magnetic, and the most aligned with us moving forward. The other thing, there is so much going on right now. We have 2 retrogrades on the horizon. So Mercury retrograde November 9th through November 29th. It starts in the sign of Sagittarius, and then it moves back into Scorpio. Really interesting retrograde. So at the beginning of the month, wherever Sagittarius is in your charts, those are the themes that are going to be popping up for you. And then as it transitions back into Scorpio, whatever house Scorpio rules is going to be highlighted. And for astrology, I don't like to necessarily use it as a prediction, but maybe just like looking back after the fact as confirmation, validation, like, wow, that was crazy. just something that I like to do. Really just take everything with a grain of salt, and whatever house, if you are looking to know like what might be coming up, it's just good to have in the back of your mind, like, okay, my Sagittarius is my first house. I'm a Sagittarius rising. I'm not, but just as an example. Themes around your appearance, your physical body, your yourself, your identity could be under review. You could be reviewing those things, those practices. And then as it moves into Scorpio, for example, say you are a Scorpio 11th house, that is community, friendships. This could be the review of those things in your life and deeper truths. All of those could be surfacing and coming to light surrounding that. So if you are curious what could be popping up, it doesn't necessarily mean it will pop up, but what could be popping up. You'll want to look at the houses Sagittarius and Scorpio rules. And then, of course, as always, Mercury retrograde. Mercury rules communication, tech, travel, all of those things you are going to want to approach with so much patience, especially if you are traveling for Thanksgiving, if you celebrate Thanksgiving. Just have extra patience, and maybe the expectation that things could not go as planned, and that is okay. Double, triple check all of your travel plans, any contracts, any type of tech things, save your files. I know I've been caught so many Mercury retrogrades where I'm editing a video and I didn't click save. And literally, I have cried over things like that. So this is learn from me. Do as I say, not as I do. So just be extra patient right now. And then the question to ask yourself, what story am I ready to rewrite? As Mercury makes you think about, there's more, your mind is more active in general, and just reviewing all of the things in your life right now. And then what truths are you ready to face? So thinking about those two things throughout this coming month. So the next few weeks. Okay, we are almost through this cosmic update. The last thing we need to discuss is Jupiter is retrograde in Cancer on November 11th. So that will be Tuesday. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, abundance, wisdom, and growth. All of that is going to equal the outwardness of expansion, abundance, and growth, bringing that inward. So expanding your mind, expanding your growth internally, it all just turns inward during a retrograde like this. So it's less about chasing expansion in the external world and more about nurturing what is within ourselves. And then thinking about Cancer as a sign, it is nurturing, it is home, nesting, security, family, roots, and also belonging. So think about where you feel most loved, safe, and supported during this retrograde in Jupiter. This is a longer retrograde, so from November 11th through March 11th of 2026. So over the next few months, the energy could be very internal. And I feel like it's honestly very harmonious with the winter season as well, as people tend to stay inside more, bunker down, kind of like be in their homes more as it gets really cold. It starts snowing places. We like to stay indoors. We like to stay inside. At least I do. I love a cozy snow day where I do not have to leave the house. I can't wait. I'm so looking forward to that. Just watching a cozy movie under a nice warm snug blanket, sipping some hot tea, cuddling with my cat babies, and yes, can't wait. And the last thing I will say about Jupiter retrograde, this is just a time to review your relationship with abundance. So, not just financial necessarily, but also emotional and spiritual abundance. What does that mean to you? Where do you feel most at home with yourself? And where do you feel safe to grow? Where do you need growth? And then what does abundance look like when it comes from emotional security instead of the external validation? Between these two retrogrades, the lingering full moon, this is your cosmic cue. There's a lot happening up there in the ether, and this is a time to slow it down. Think warm light, slower mornings, nourishing food, warming foods, honest reflections, lots of journaling, and just not rushing towards the next thing. Right now is the time to stay put and really think through things. So, lots going on this week, lots to think about. And if you would like to share all of your placements in the Spotify comments or wherever you listen to this podcast, I would love to do some little mini readings for you for the next coming few weeks. Okay. Let us light our sage. I'm just going to do a smoke cleanse and then a sound cleanse before we get into our spiritual guidance, especially with all of this energy going on. It's a lot. Our little systems are probably overwhelmed with it. And yeah, I know Mercury retrograde gets a bad rep, but I like to start thinking about it as a time to review things and where we might have the occasional little tech glitches, but really it's nothing to be scared of. If anything, it is to help you grow. It is to help you really just slow down, to pause, if you will, and get clear on what is next. So if you are watching, just, it's a nice sage smoke cleanse for you. If you are listening, just know you are being cleansed right now with sage. And fun fact about sage, it bonds to any bad smells. So if you have any bad smells in your house, if you have a guest coming over, I used this in my sink one time. It just smelled awful. And it binds to the bad scent and takes it away. And you can look up the science behind that because I did not know that there was actual science behind it. Okay, and that is my one random fact for today, I promise. This is probably going to keep going. So we're just going to set this over here. Hopefully it will stay. I can get it to go out in a second, and I might have to put it out, actually. Okay, I think we're good. All right. Sage cleanse. And now we will do our spiritual guidance from our magical messages deck today. Let me just clear this. And if you would like, if you're not watching, or if you are, even, you can light a candle right now, light some incense right now as we get into our divine messages and also our guided meditation right after. Today we're going to do pick your card. We will do 2 different cards for this guidance. I'm just going to ask that whatever wisdom, whatever knowledge, whatever needs to be heard makes its way to the front, makes its way to our ears, from our spirit team, our guides, and our angels. And then just choose whether you would like to choose card number 1 or card number 2, or to receive them both together. Okay, actually, this might be meant to be read together, so you can still choose card number 1 or card number 2, but I'm actually going to do this as a reading together after we get into each of them. Okay, card number 1. How long will you let fear limit you? What if the obstacle is actually the path? And if you chose card number 2, this says, darling, enough with the distractions. It's time to manifest your dreams and mind your business. So we have fear, the obstacle is the path, distractions, and minding your business, staying in your lane. Whatever you are trying to manifest, whatever your dreams that keep circulating in your mind, they're reoccurring not for no reason. They're reoccurring because that energy needs to be moved through you. It needs to become reality. It needs to become here in the 3D space with us. Fear could be a really big theme surrounding this. Maybe you're scared to fail, but also maybe you are scared to be successful. A lot of people don't actually think about that, or they don't realize that they're not scared to fail. They're scared to actually be successful, because what does that mean for them? It's hard to fathom sometimes. And then whatever distractions is getting in your way, I'm hearing social media. I'm hearing just distracting yourself with things that they're not worth your time, because maybe you are, I don't know, spending way too much time trying to get something perfected, or thinking about things that aren't going to happen until a year from now or 6 months from now. And you don't really need to be diving into that just yet. And then also stay in your lane. Who cares what anyone else is doing right now? Yes, always cheer on your friends and your partners, your people, and stop comparing. Mind your business. Stay in your lane. Whatever you are building is not going to be any more or less successful because you are trying to compete or keep tabs on someone else doing something similar. Enough of the distractions. Take a day, get organized, put this plan into action. Stop letting fear hold you back from doing whatever this thing is. It's been a reoccurring theme, I feel like, for the last few weeks. So whatever is needing to get out right now, and especially curious, both of these two are they were meant to be read together, I feel like. Okay. Now that we have our guidance for the week, I guess the next 2 weeks, because We will just have our guided meditation only episode next week, if you remember my new structure. And so before we move into the guided meditation, just to ready you so that you are here in the present moment, ready to begin, drop into the meditation. Today, since we have the retrogrades coming up this week and a lot of other things that have happened, I'm going to do a deep, slow vibration with the 128 hertz. It's excellent for grounding, releasing tension, and clearing any stagnant energy from the body. Also, with Mercury Retrograde, cleaning your space as well as your mental and emotional and spiritual space, spiritual bodies, is also something that can be really beneficial to start off this week. Enough of my ranting and yapping. Here is your sound cleanse. And Kylo has joined us today for the meditation. Say hi. All right, so if you hear any kitty purrs during the meditation, hopefully that is okay with you. Today's guided meditation is about illuminating the shadows. It is for gratitude and renewal during this heavy energetic time period. So I invite you to get comfortable, find some place you can lie down without being interrupted. And I just want you to close your eyes if it feels good to you to do that. Or you can just hold your eyelids low if you are in a space where closing your eyes isn't accessible at the moment. So let's begin by taking a full breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, feel your shoulders melt down and away from your ears. And let your spine grow tall, almost like the flame of a candle when you first light it. And steady, soft, and alive. Maybe your belly starts to soften, your jaw unclenches, and let your neck lengthen with ease. And just settle into this stillness. And this pause between the light and the shadow. And just notice the breath moving in and out of you. It's the quiet rhythm. It's always with you. Each inhale, expansion, and each exhale, a release. The breath is a simple miracle of being here, being present. Begin to draw your awareness towards your heart. Feel it pulsing. It is your reminder that you are alive in this moment. With each breath, let your awareness sink a little bit deeper. Past the noise, past the surface, and into the quiet chambers within you. You might begin to notice some shadows here. Old emotions, memories, or even unspoken words coming up. And there's no need to chase them away. Instead, I want you to face them, to breathe light into them. Begin to imagine your breath as a soft glow. It starts to illuminate whatever has been hiding in the dark. The parts of you that are just waiting to be seen, to be loved, and to be reclaimed. And start to zoom out and bring your awareness to your entire body. It is the sacred vessel that carries your spirit through this life. Feel the subtle movement of the breath through the ribs, and the gentle rhythm of your heart. and the grounding weight of your body against the earth. You are a living constellation. Breath, heartbeat, body, awareness. All working together in quiet harmony. And take this moment to remember that you have everything you need within you to heal, to soften, to manifest, to evolve. Your capacity for awareness, gratitude, and transformation is infinite. And let this truth settle within you. Now take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, imagine light expanding through your chest. Merging with the darkness, turning it into something whole, something sacred. And you can say these next statements by whispering them out loud, or just simply feel the words as I recite them. I am grateful for the light. I am grateful for the shadows that teach me where to look. I am grateful for the light. I am grateful for the shadows that teach me where to look. Just sit here with your own energy, breathing, heart beating, the light meeting the dark, all perfectly balanced within you. And as your mind begins to wander, simply return to this rhythm, this breath, this moment, and this truth You are both the light and the shadow. Both of those are worthy. You can stay here as long as you need. When you are ready, just bring some gentle movement back into your body. Wiggling the fingers, the toes, and just noticing how it feels to be alive, to be grounded, whole, renewed. And remember, even in the darkness, your light never leaves you. If you need a few extra moments, you can pause the audio here. But if not, thank you so much for joining me today, for doing this meditation, for doing this practice for yourself. And I do want to leave you with some journal prompts to think about and reflect on to close out this ritual today. So, some journal prompts for you. What lessons from this year are asking for one more look before I close this chapter? What needs warmth and gentleness right now? And what am I ready to release so that I can enter winter feeling lighter? And then just to close with some holistic nourishment, holistic reminders for tending to your mind, body, and spirit. When it comes to your mind during this time, review your routines, which ones are still serving your peace, are still serving you, and which ones are not. Invite more slowness, more stillness, more silence into this colder winter season. Support your inner fire as the world outside starts to cool down. Lots of warm, nourishing things, warm soups, roasted vegetables, herbal teas. Have mine right here. And also grounding, warming spices like cinnamon, turmeric, cardamom. I have a little bit of those in here today. And then just remembering to keep our joints and circulation happy with gentle movement, things like walking, stretching daily if you can, yoga, and even dancing. I love to dance and put on my favorite music. Whatever mood I'm in will depend on what type of music I'm going to listen to while I do my makeup. Put on some music, do my face, and just dance to start the day. I think it's such a wonderful way to invite movement as you do begin your day. And also any type of sunlight that you have access to, soak up the sunlight as much as you can. I know even though it's cold, getting sunlight in the morning especially is going to be so helpful for your circadian rhythm, as we also had the time change that happened this last weekend as well. That can really help to get your body in sync with the new changing times that we're experiencing sunrise and sunset now a little bit earlier than I would like. I do not enjoy working at my desk and it being completely dark outside at 4:30 p.m. So I'm like, the sun's down. It's time for me to close my laptop. But alas, I keep working, of course. And then lastly, for your spirit, I know we just did a beautiful guided meditation, but more of that, more candlelight, more rituals that are going to bring you inward, bring you to your inner world, and really reconnect with it during this time. And then remember that winter is not stagnation, it is sacred incubation to prepare you for this new year, this new spring season where everything starts to awaken and be a lot more lively. If we think about in correlation with what's happening to the trees, to nature outside, it tends to decay, to let go, to slough off everything that is needed. It hibernates, but it is still very much alive during the winter. And then as we go into spring, we have all of the leaves and flowers and vegetation starting to bloom again. And so will you. So using this as sacred incubation. So yeah, think of it as the stillness is preparing your soil for next year's bloom. Thank you so much for joining me today for this ritual. I know it was a little bit longer than I planned on it to be, but I felt like we just had so much to cover and there was so much that I wanted to do, especially since we are only doing the full ritual episodes twice a month now. I want to pack everything in so that you can maybe do it multiple times on the weeks that we don't have a new ritual episode. And I hope that this retrograde season treats you kindly and that you move forward and through it with patience and the intent to know yourself and your inner world better. And of course, next week I will be sharing the standalone guided meditation just as a final reminder to help you slow down and drop into your body, drop into your breath as this energy amps up. Who knows what it's going to bring? And I will be here to help keep you grounded as you move forward through it. So until then, stay warm, and I will see you in the next one.